echo.
What a great tune.
Welcome.
Sounds so
tune.
natural.
Welcome to episode 15
Wow.
of the Hat Chat podcast.
The big 1-5.
That Fingal.
You doing anything
the
to
lovely
celebrate?
Fingal. What, today for the 1-5?
The big 1-5.
Not really, no. Nothing
No.
specific. Should I celebrate?
No.
I'm sacrificing like a lot of cows.
Cows.
15?
Wow.
15 cows.
How are you
guys.
doing it, though?
Middle of Queen Square with a bread knife.
Oh, wow. That's really...
Sorry,
violent and
we threw you off your...
I was going to say this was
your
Jamie Courtier.
Jamie Courtier.
I don't know how to say
Thanks
it.
for that. Incredible.
Courtier?
They did a great barking.
It's a mochi,
Courtier.
like, apparently tapped into the
Yeah.
brain of mochi and
Oh.
created a... Sounds like an uprising.
And she's not actually here. The dog's not here.
It was
which-
in her honour.
It was in her honour. So
We'll play it
one-
to her next time she's in.
Yeah.
And she'll just give us...
Right.
She'll smile up at us and kind of just in a puzzled way.
Then piss in the wrong place.
She worries she's a bit slow.
Yeah,
She
I
doesn't
don't
quite
worry
catch
about
on.
it.
No, she just
I know.
accept it.
I just know.
That's fair enough.
She's smart in her own way.
Yeah.
What's her own way?
She didn't have breakfast this morning, so she ate her own shit.
Well, I mean, if it fills you up...
Yeah, whatever
then-
fills you
Yeah,
up,
whatever
right?
fills you up. And the calories... Does that mean that... Is it negative calories?
Why do
because you've
dogs
already,
do it? Why do dogs do it?
Oh, delicious.
My dogs ate... they would chomp on...
Horse shit.
Horse shit. Just in the road. They would
It's
find
so
it and it
dumb.
would just look, oh, that's curious. It smells weird. So they'd chomp on it and then spit it out. They wouldn't
See,
eat
that-
it.
there's
See,
no-
I don't
They
have...
would go,
I've
like a cake.
never had a dog, so I have
Yeah.
to do all this stuff myself.
Exactly.
Horse shit?
We had a
Yeah.
brother. I mean, did he not... Was he keen to...
No, it's my horse shit. Nobody else is
Oh,
having my horse shit.
Well, apparently one of the main reasons that dogs do it, at home at least,
Yeah.
is to clean the den.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want shit on their
But
doorstep.
where do they think the shit that they've just eaten is
Well,
going
the
to
dogs...
go?
Wait. The dogs...
Just
Straight back out again. Like, well, what? Like,
Well,
what's the
that's it.
logic? I mean,
Slightly more
You're trying to
refined, though.
quantify it. Like, oh no, they're actually quite clever. They're cleaning their den, but when they need another shit from eating all the shit, they'll
Oh
clean
my
it
God.
again. It's just
just-
storing waste.
they'll just keep... Yeah, they're throwing it inside them instead of in the den.
You could just record the Nest camera and just watch it kind of look puzzled as it comes back out of it again. It's just like, hang on.
I got rid of
just
that.
ate that.
I am
And
hungry,
then
though.
back round again until it's
I
just
do
dies
feel-
from poisonous... some sort of
I guess
poison.
there is a point, yeah, where a dog would die from eating its own shit over
Of
and over
course
again.
there is.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
How dangerous is that, though? Because have you looked it up?
Well, it's been a few weeks now
Okay.
on a pure poo
But she doesn't
diet.
eat it,
from
a
what
lot
she-
of it, though. Surely it's like just a nibble and then you're like, whoa, stop what you're doing. Or do you not catch her in time?
Sometimes I don't catch her.
That's what
and
keeps
she
the coat
wolfs it
so
down.
white.
Yeah, she wolfs it
It's
down.
interesting.
It's like I once
Anyway.
read a thing
I've
about
been
a
eating too
guy.
much.
One guy said, this was years ago. This is like secondary school. I read a thing about a guy saying like who looked very young for his age. He was
Okay.
like 60 and he looked like
Baby face.
like 40. And they're like, "What's your secret?" And he's like, "I drink my own jism."
Drink it.
He eats it. Eats his
Sure.
own jism, and that for
Gobbles it
him is his
But
secret.
that wasn't true, though.
Wow.
I think you're lying. It's
I'm not.
secondary school.
I'm not. I heard this in secondary
Everyone
school.
looks youthful at secondary
No. I'm not saying the person was in secondary school. I said I heard the
You heard
story
of it.
about.
Oh,
I
right.
said he was a 40-year-old man, Trott, or a
Oh,
60-year-old man.
I hear what I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
But
nobody.
you still remember the secondary school bit first.
Yeah.
And then I thought, hang
Yeah.
on, are students admitting to this weird...
The rest of it comes a blur. And I
There's
hear
all sorts of things like bathing in your own piss can help and stuff like that.
Well, you can
like,
smear it on your... not piss, but
I
you can
think
smear
all-
jism on your face. And apparently that's like some sort of like cleansing...
is it?
I don't know.
In what way does it cleanse? Do all the little
The
all the
nu-
little
the-
tadpoles eat all the dead skin?
No, wait for the science.
Nutrients
Here it comes.
that come from the jism
Yeah.
soak in.
Are you talking about sperm or...
Spermatozoa will jump around and enliven.
It's not all.
Active ingredients.
It's not all.
There are
sperm,
active
though.
ingredients.
The sperm's suspended in its own solution. Do you know that? So it's.
So it has its own...
It's a little bubble of...
Little bit
you
of
might already know this. I don't mean to
I
insult
haven't
your
looked too
intelligence.
much into it.
So basically,
I feel insulted for not knowing now.
the sperm are in their own suspension of liquid. So like
Is that because of their size?
it's just a way
Like
to get.
the way flies can move through...
No, there's
molecules
actually a
of air.
liquid that you produce as a man.
Wait, that's not flies, sorry.
Uh,
Definitely like microorganisms, not flies. They can fly through air.
there's a I was like, well, I wasn't really sure what you're talking about.
I
So,
kind of don't know.
So there's a liquid.
that flies and then...
so there's
Okay,
a
go on.
liquid,
Yeah.
and then in that liquid is the suspension, like that suspends the sperm in it.
Okay.
So you actually have two components. You have the sperm.
It's like a windshield for flies.
It's not a
or
windshield.
not
It's
for
like a
seals?
delivery system. So
Okay.
imagine like tadpoles in pond water. You produce both pond water and tadpoles. So we actually produce two different things. So it's not just all just straight up sperm. There's
Yeah, it's
of course,
not back-to-back sperm.
no, it's the sperm are a part of a solution that you produce, and that solution
It's called jism.
is jism.
I'm so glad we're taking an educational route.
Yeah,
With,
and obviously
with
then
the
piss is stored in the balls.
I'm so glad you
Didn't
also
need to
mentioned
say
that, but that was obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew that one.
One ball for piss, one ball for jizz.
Yeah. Saying that,
Oh,
another fun little bit of trivia. In some cultures, it's probably not modern day culture, but in some cultures, it was considered that male and females
Left
came
and
from
right
left
ball.
and right ball. So some people would chop off one of their balls in order
Just
to
to make
try and make sure they have
Wow.
only sons.
And forget this is before like anesthetics or
Yeah.
like penicillin or infections.
Oh.
And just like gung.
Well, I would use a hairband. And
Cauterize?
no, I'd like dock it like a lamb's tail.
both
Yeah.
or one.
Just the one.
You have to get into. So what you have to
Cut off the
slice
blood
into
circulation
one.
until it dies off.
You just wrap a
Open the
really
sac.
tight band around it.
Just to open the sac as you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I open my sac every day. Do you just?
You got
there's
a
a
peek
little,
inside.
there's a little ribbon that keeps
Yeah,
it.
you
I got like one of those
Yeah.
fresh seals on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Pull it apart.
Zip seal bag.
It's like a
Ziploc.
freezer bag.
I've got a
Sometimes you
Ziploc.
squeeze and there's still a
Oh
bit of
my
air coming out. You got to really lock it in.
Yeah.
I have a full zip.
Pop in there, pull one out, give it a wash sometimes, and then pop it
Oh,
back in.
I feel sick.
Sounds horrible, doesn't it?
I
I mean,
feel
fuck
sick.
me. I don't. Do you check your bollocks often?
Not as much
You're
as I
meant to
probably
do once a
should.
month.
Just once a month.
I distinctly remember like the little leaflets and stuff you used to get, like,
Yeah.
and someone had to draw like the fingers and holding
Yeah.
your ball sack.
Finger and thumb.
It's like roll it around in your.
Oh, even that. It's so delicate. And like,
Makes you sick sometimes,
I
doesn't it?
smacked my groin into the handlebars of my bike this weekend. I was trying to go up like
Wait, how? So you were going downhill? Like, and you slid?
I was actually trying to go uphill.
Oh.
So I was going uphill.
Okay.
I went to jump something. The front wheel just jammed straight into the bottom of a log, and my body fired
Oh,
forward,
but
and
it
the bike
kicked-
stayed still.
Oh,
I just
right,
went-
okay.
Like my groin just caught on the top of the handlebars and just.
Man.
That was good. That hurt a
Yeah.
lot, but
Do you think one of them twisted? Because that's my fear. That's the
No,
fear
I've
is
I've never
either
had
the
that
twisting
fear.
or the knotting. Now, is that even possible? We kind of
Yes.
need a medical
Yeah.
professional to.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is possible to tie
My
them
uncle
around.
had it.
Yeah, it happens more testicular torsion.
anytime.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like the worst thing. Like I feel like sometimes on a hot evening I might roll over and then potentially like this.
How saggy do your balls get? Would you say?
I'm saying a very hot evening.
If you had to say so, like maximum sag, minimum sag.
What
You
is
know,
this
like,
though?
like,
What is-
like
For
what would you
anyone
say?
listening, he's raising his hands and lifting them up from
So
one
you know when
another
it's
to
like
measure.
really hot day, maximum sag.
Right.
You know, from so
Yeah.
let's say this is the shaft here,
Sure.
and then you got your ball bag. I reckon maximum sag for me is about there.
Well, it's not. It's not that it sags low. It's just it suddenly becomes a lot more.
What, is that a lot?
It's kind of information I don't need to know for one.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of
It's
sag.
quite a lot of
Is
sag.
I mean,
it?
I don't. How do I'm trying to measure with my hands.
So if you imagine,
so
stick your finger out for the
stick your
shaft
your
measure,
fingers out for the shaft.
and then obviously you've got a little bit of a
the on a cold day. You're really.
yeah, exactly.
your
You're like
clasp,
right up.
It's
So
like
in
a
you are
fucking
just-
conker.
I prefer it like that, to be honest, because it
Yeah.
feels safer.
Yeah.
You know, you're not knocking anything around. Everything's comfortable.
It's
Literally
like
feels
a
like
meat
a-
jacket.
You know those conker shells
Yeah.
with spiky.
It is, but not.
Like
the,
the pubes are kind of spiking out.
Like defense.
I mean, how
Yeah.
sharp are your?
Yeah, how sharp
Are
is
you?
your
Do you
really
shave? Do you
fucking-
shave to the skin?
No, but I do keep it. You know,
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, man. You shave to the skin.
I shape it.
You must have. You shape it.
Do you ever think that like this area around here, you know, like where the sides of the ball bag area starts, looks a little bit like those things they put on horse that tow carts? You know, like those leather like hoop things, like they put over their heads. It's like
yeah,
that.
but not when it's cold.
No.
No,
No.
it all kind of goes
Man.
in, doesn't it?
What would you say to somebody who just listened to this podcast for the first time? They started at episode 15.
Disclaimer: we talk about weird subjects.
Yeah, we didn't. There will be swearing.
And we swear.
There will be swearing and sex words.
And we talk about like really spurious things we don't know all the details about.
This is three
Yeah.
people talking about their opinions,
Yeah.
and
And
citations
kind
certainly needed, especially when I'm talking.
And the hood of
Sag rate
a
though, that's a
horse hood.
fact.
Sag rate is
You
a
know your
measure.
sag
That's
rate.
measurable.
I've never measured it though. The sag rate. I've
I can't
never,
say
But
I've
Well,
all I can say
I
is that,
literally got a tape measure just over there if you want to.
well, it's not that hot. I'm not
Sag
too
rate.
hot.
Maybe
but
we
I'm
could
saying,
draw on the door frame.
on
like
some
they
of the
do with
hotter
kids that
days.
grow.
We could, yeah, just. Oh,
And a
you're
hole.
sagging lower.
We can put a
I'm
glory
getting
hole
older.
above it so that we each make sure
You have a
that our
benchmark.
shaft is in the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Right. Okay. It's a lot. It's complicated.
We
to
don't
measure.
need to measure our sag rate though,
No.
Why not? It's a measurable way of measuring
Declining.
Earth's gravity,
Mm.
isn't it?
and also our declining structure of our ball sack.
Scrotum.
Because as you get older,
Yeah.
that sag increases
Well, yeah, it will. Yeah.
until it's touching your ankles.
So that's some scrotum talk
Yeah.
for everyone. Sam is with us today. Craig's away. He said he hates us, so he's gone. He's completely gone.
He's taken a week off,
Sam's
the
back.
bastard.
Yeah, I know, he took
Hello,
some time
Sam.
off.
Thanks,
Hello.
Sam's here.
Thanks for stepping in.
It's alright. No worries.
How do you feel about the scrotum talk straight away?
It's
Let's just off
great.
the
Yeah,
bat.
it's a really strong intro.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
feel like you might not have. I mean, with everything going on, you might not have caught one of our podcasts.
No, I
before.
haven't. But
So this is a fresh.
what I envisioned it would be.
Right, they're
Craig,
not all like this. I mean,
Craig's in this all the time, and he doesn't listen
Right.
to anything we're saying. So the fact that we're having a nice back and forth is quite.
Right.
I mean,
Refreshing.
I could stop listening and just
Pretend to be
listen.
Craig.
Be
He,
a real
he can
simulated
only concentrate
experience.
on either
Find
the
it.
tech or
a button
us.
press at a time, not both.
You can't have both.
Right.
yeah, it sounds rude, but I feel like he never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like he's
actually-
always talking. Like in this
Right.
this podcast may as well be
Yeah.
the
Well, I
The
sit
Craig
next to
Frost
Craig in the edit room, and he's like all day, like
exactly.
non-stop.
Yeah. You
Classic
can't
Craig.
stop.
Can this be the Craig expose episode where we talk about all
I
the
feel like it should
things
be.
he's done?
Yeah, I feel like we could really throw
In
him under the
LA.
bus. In LA. Oh, the things he did. Man,
Well,
I think
he's-
most people have seen
In
most
that
of the things
pool
he
as
did.
well.
The things I edited out. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to cut around
Oh,
a lot
man,
of
the
Craig.
pool stuff. I couldn't even film some of that stuff. He was so
Disgusting.
into it. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Mm.
Straight from the jacuzzi into
Well,
the
when
pool
you've had
as
as
well.
much brown as he has, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where he got it on such short notice, but we were in LA, I guess.
Yeah.
It's when we had to
Um,
call the emergency services to get him unstuck again.
Yeah.
So narrow roads, they took a long time to get up there.
Exactly.
Steve Tyler was there.
But
He
Steve
was.
Tyler was there.
He
Oh, yeah,
was.
that was a very briefly. That was very brief within the.
Because I
video.
literally saw him for like
you
2
literally like I
seconds.
just I was in an Uber, and you saw Steve Tyler. Is
Well,
it definitely
my-
him? You
so-
definitely sure?
This
So
is-
my Uber driver. No, I'm not definitely sure. Of course not.
95%.
But like, yeah.
Give me a
yeah.
percentage. Give
Yeah,
me a-
yeah.
let's-
I'd say
let's
95%.
do the scale.
Yeah,
Give him a
like
big
probably
mouth.
higher than 95. Like
Right, okay.
it looked like him.
How
but
big was his mouth?
big?
That's the
I mean,
thing.
of course it's going to be.
Was he
big.
smiling? Or was he yelling? Because obviously you were.
He
in the
was
wet-
smiling. He
Oh.
wasn't driving. He was in the
Course, yeah.
passenger seat, and he sort of looked over and was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because basically,
Yeah.
the Uber driver tried to get out of the way of like the oncoming cars coming up the big Hollywood hill.
Yeah.
But he'd pulled onto the wrong side of the road, and then he was just like, "I'm not moving, bro. I'm not moving. Just come past me. Just come past me." And it turned to one of those classic things of like,
You first.
this
Stubbornness.
Guy, yeah, stubbornness. It's like, dude, you could just pull in there,
Yeah.
but equally they could have gone around him, and it just then he got out of his car. I love that when they do that.
Yeah.
Take a seatbelt off, open the door, go out. He said, "What are you doing? You gotta go round." And I was like, "What the fuck is gonna happen?" I'm just sat in the back here, like, and and then this guy comes past after the first initial car, it's like Range Rover goes
Yeah.
by. The guy's like, "What the fuck are you doing, blah, blah, blah. I've lived here for 30 years, bud." And then a car behind him rolls past, and there's just Steve Tyler laughing away at it all going on. And he's just like, "Hey, I'm a big fan, man." Like as the other car goes by, he goes, "You see who that was? That was Steve Tyler, man." And I'm just like,
Cool. Can we get going?
"Can we
Definitely
go?"
was it?
And then I finally
I feel
get
like
there,
you
and Trott's throwing up in a bin.
Yeah, we caught shots. Right.
Oh, that was that.
That was that just
Yeah,
before then
yeah,
because
yeah.
he only just arrived. We were all drunk because we'd been there a few hours.
I was wasted.
And
The
then,
food in that place was terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
Like
Did
seriously
we eat?
bad. Some
I
people
got
ate.
us some food, and I remember it just being just like really
slosh.
trashy.
It was
Just-
like the kind of thing you'd cook in an easy bake oven. Like,
Was that the Star Wars cantina?
That's extreme. I mean, an easy.
that?
bake.
Yeah, that was the
yeah,
Star Wars
the
cantina, yeah.
It looked cool.
the food or
No,
the
the
venue was
the
cool,
theme
yeah.
was great, but
Yeah.
like the food
The
was
food
also
was
themed to
tragic.
be, horse shit from.
It was like a night out. I don't know what food we
But
expected.
if you're gonna do shit food in a place like that, just don't do food.
or
I'd
at
say.
least make it
But
like
the drunk people were
Star
drunk
Wars
enough
themed.
to get it.
Yeah, it was literally like out of a
Microwave.
theme park, kind of like like one of those
Yeah.
like shitty like food restaurants you'll go to in a theme park. Whereas like medieval times as well. God, that food was just
Basic.
so bad, like just the worst. Anyway,
But their excuse was not having cutlery because in the time
there was
they
no
wouldn't have
cutlery.
But then they're pouring us like Pepsi Max and God knows what
Yeah,
else.
they just don't want
And-
to wash it.
and powdered gravy that they've mixed with water and then
Yeah,
poured
That
on.
soup was
We
like,
can't. I mean, yeah,
That's soup.
that
Sorry,
soup
yeah.
was like a cup of soup.
it was
like-
a cup of soup, wasn't it? It was
I
literally
think it
just a cup
was.
of soup.
I think
So
it was
bad.
a cup of soup.
I don't. I
Anyway,
mean, was it expensive? What's one admission for that? Do you
It
remember?
was like $65, $70.
we had the VIP
Jeez.
seats though,
yeah,
Ah, yes.
so it's
we were
probably
at the front.
cheaper to be at the back.
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Wouldn't go to one here.
Craig
What
was
was
there.
that
Craig. It was funny because Craig, we basically just put Craig in lots of positions he's never been in, and he was very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Like
And then we took him to LA.
yeah. And then we took him to LA.
What I've noticed about Craig is he very much likes to know the plan, and he
Yeah,
likes to
but
plan
I
the plan.
think- But there are people like who will prefer to know every detail, which is probably a good thing, right? It's good that somebody knows what's going on
Yeah.
sometimes.
He's very
But there are,
organised.
with the whole trip, with the rivers and stuff. Like none of us really knew. I mean, I think you booked it, so you knew, but none of us really knew the ins and outs of what to expect. So he was a bit.
He did it though.
But
Fair play to him. It's a shame he did all that other stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, which we can't even
Unbelievable.
talk about.
Can't believe he got banned
there are
from America.
solicitors and
First time.
Yeah.
First time there.
First time versus visa, stuck in a queue for 3 hours, banned.
Blanket ban,
Yeah.
North
They
America.
just looked him in the face and said, "You're not right here."
Yeah.
You
Not
don't
one.
belong.
Not related, but just as a disclaimer, sometimes we do lie for comedic effect. But not right now, obviously, I'm just saying.
This is all
It sounds
serious.
like it's so dry all the time that I can't tell whether you're
hard to
lying or
tell.
not. I
Forward
think, are you
slash
lying about the
S.
lying?
/S.
/S.
The reality is we can't tell the truth. It's less about when are we lying and it's more about when are we telling the truth, I think. You know, like we haven't told the truth about Trott for years and years and years.
Mm.
You know, he's a merman. How do we hide that? His
That's why
entire bottom
every-
half is
Yeah.
fish.
Every shot we do is from the waist up.
Yeah. Because otherwise you'll see his
For good
disgusting
reason.
fit. It doesn't look anything like the films, guys. It looks really disgusting.
It's
It smells.
horrible. It's like
Yeah.
the whole bottom half of him is just a cod's tail.
If you've ever been fishing and it stinks and it's all scaly, this guy.
It really smells outside. Sam, did you notice it smelled outside today?
It's pretty awful, yeah.
Yeah, it smelled like ass.
Yeah.
I don't know
What's
why.
wrong
We
with
should
it?
go out there and investigate. Maybe we should do like a Stacey Dooley.
Sounds like a fucking sex act.
A Stacey Dooley.
Maybe we should do a Stacey Dooley.
doing a Dooley.
All right, love, let's do a Stacey Dooley tonight. A
I'm
Dooley?
so out of touch with like
Double Dooley.
modern society. I don't know who Stacey Dooley is.
Well, she's
So-
just a BBC. I mean, I don't personally like the way that she presents, but that's just
She's very popular though.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed it, but I mean, I'm kind of warming up to her a bit after I watched her on Strictly Come Dancing.
For fuck's sake, I feel like you did. You did watch her.
Oh yeah, I've already watched it. I like Strictly Come Dancing. I like Great British Bake Off. Right,
I watched Bake Off. Yeah, I
GBBO.
mean, it's all right.
Ebo.
it's quite interesting.
We
I've
did
not
our
seen
own,
the
didn't
Noel
we?
Fielding seasons on Channel 4.
Have you not? They're all right.
I
They're way more
purposefully,
sexualized. Did you know? Have you noticed this? So this is something I was going to tweet about because
Who,
everyone
the contestants
everyone
or the
loves my hot
judges?
Oh, because I didn't Paul like make a joke about something or like the moisture or
Yeah,
I don't
all
know.
sorts of stuff. Like. So basically, it's moved
Channel
from
4
Channel
though,
4. The thing is, that was it. I was like, holy shit, this is a lot more like
Suggestive.
Is this all
suggestive.
the,
That's
all
it.
the
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
they
yeah.
wanted to say?
But they're just making all these jokes and all these like lewd things. And
Mary
you're like,
Berry's not in
holy
it,
shit.
Played your
No.
baps aren't moist enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
It
look at
was-
each other like,
Wow.
And like Prue's like, oh, I'm dribbling, and Noel Fielding's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think you should say that too often, Prue, and all this sort of stuff. Like it's. And I was like, oh, it's on Channel 4 now, but it's pretty. It's funny, I guess. Like,
Is
but I
that-
mean,
I hate lewd humor.
no holds barred.
Yeah.
Prue,
Prue.
would you? Would you go there
I
with Prue?
don't know who that is.
Just yes or no.
Picture
Yes.
an elderly woman. I can bring up a picture
She's
for you
not
if
that
you want. I
elderly.
mean,
Can we get a picture of what's her
Prue-
name?
Prue.
Prue.
I'm typing in Prue like Gru,
PRU.
and it's got Prudential Home Insurance.
R/Gruel.
I don't think that's going to come up with anything. Prue from Bake Off. That's gruel. Jesus, there's an E in there. That's why. Let me find a nice little
Images,
image of her.
come
There
on.
we go. There she is, Trott. So Trott, out of 10, you've been backed into a corner. She's wearing her sexiest outfit.
Can you Google Sam on this
Obviously,
tab
she
up
would
here?
never accept you.
PRU.
Yeah, I think we're presuming a lot. Yeah.
We are presuming that she would, but like, would you take her out for a date?
Leith. Leith.
Leith.
Leith.
Yeah,
Leith.
just crack on the
Go to
images,
images
and
and
then.
then- Hit
Maybe
this-
maybe
okay,
put
yeah.
like
green
bikini
button.
afterwards.
Don't put bikini. I feel like we don't need to sexualize the situation. Would
We
you go on
just
a
hit-
date with
yeah,
her, Trott?
let's
That's
just-
the important thing, and not like a grandmother son
Any
date,
particular one?
like a
No,
Any
like a
take your
romantic
fancy,
date
Trott?
that might go somewhere.
Let me just take the lot in.
There you go. So she's got. Oh look at the way she's holding that she's about to whisk.
I'm not a huge fan.
That's-
Look at that Trot. She's
Come
getting
on.
creamy.
But this is the type of thing that you might.
Is she one of
hear
the
on
judges
Bake Off
or a
now.
contestant?
one of the
Yeah,
judges.
she's a judge. Yeah.
Right.
No.
She
Um,
was.
Could be you, Trott.
Oh, was
Oh,
that?
that could be me.
Oh, that could be you.
That's too lewd.
Ah,
That's too lewd.
it's too much.
I'm not a big fan of the frames, I'll be honest.
Oh, the frames are putting you off.
Oh, that's it, is it?
Son of a
She's
bitch.
trying to
You
be edgy.
ageist son of a bitch.
You
I hate
ageist
people with
bastard.
glasses.
Like her or Mary Berry. Mary Berry, let's be honest, looks a little bit like an extra from the last season of Game of Thrones.
Fucking hell, it actually does. Oh, they've got the fucking the
Click the one on the
night
left.
walker like
Yeah, vibe.
oh man, poor Berry though. Fuck.
She is old as.
Either that
Fuck,
or
man.
somebody who's just watched season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
She looks evil, like a
She's
villain.
not evil. She's a sweet
I know
little old
she's
lady
not.
who looks a little
But
bit
if you-
alien-like when
if you've
her hair's done
never
properly.
Yeah.
Heard of her before,
Yeah.
and you just got given a picture of this,
Mm.
you'd think she was like the witch from
Yeah.
a Disney film.
Mary's planning Prue's demise.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
Well, no, I'm thinking that's what that image shows
I reckon
me.
you could Photoshop that left one to look like me.
What?
Yeah.
Ah,
sounds
I
like
mean,
a
again,
task.
this is all visual based stuff. So
I reckon you could Photoshop
Google
in
Prue,
Trott
Prue.
completely nude and
And
fully
that's who
erect
we're
in the
talking
reflection of her glasses. With just like a thumbs up, like a questioning thumbs up, like,
Puzzled expression on his face.
Bottle of champagne in the left hand.
yeah.
Nah, Jack,
And the cork
pure
up your
Jack.
ass
The cork. What's
that
the cork there
that you
for?
fire out.
It's a wild,
Oh my God.
wild thing.
Talking about corks firing up. Some
We
guy.
can close this now. This is really off-putting.
Well,
Damn.
some guy who was on
Prue.
Love Island got like his eye because he popped a champagne cork into it.
Well, who did?
So I didn't know his
This
name.
is
I mean,
crazy drama.
he was on. I mean, all I wanted to say after that is anything can fuck your eyes up, guys. Wear glasses, wear goggles, because
Yeah, I don't like people with glasses though.
it only takes one fucking mistake. You pop that cork too quickly, bam, in your eye.
Retinal detachment.
You're fucked.
Well, when you
That
pop
just
a
scared
cork,
Hold it
just
away
don't,
from you.
don't point it at your eyes.
I know.
Yeah.
Obviously, whatever
It's very
happens, pretty
simple.
dumb. Either ricocheted in a perfect way that you know.
I
it's
reckon
kinda
you
like,
just
tell me
like-
the odds.
Bam.
Put your hand over the top.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Unless he was like
suppress-
being like, oh, hey, lads, which I think he was on holiday at the time, so maybe he was, lads. Boom.
You get the
Now you're
effect.
blind in one eye.
Yeah.
Is he actually blind?
I don't know.
Is this a Love Island contestant?
I don't know the name. Love Island.
I mean, is it wrong to assume that a lot of the
Cork.
people on Love Island may not be the sharpest spoon in the set?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we can make those assumptions
Hold on.
quite easily. It's fair enough that their
Hold on.
plan is to make a career out of their image, which may only last a few years. So, who knows?
Don't blind
Oh.
yourself.
Let's see,
Then it's probably a good idea
yeah.
not to blind oneself.
There's a
Oh,
picture of
poor
him looking
guy.
sad. It's Theo, some guy called Theo at the hospital. No, he was on Ibiza. He was having a party. He was having a great time. Then bam. So
Ruin
just
the
watch your eyes, guys, for fuck's sake.
Actually, I do actually quite like having glasses
It's
now.
a bit of
for-
protection.
for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of times
It's dusty
I've been
outside.
doing something and I've like gone, ooh, almost hit my eye there, but I've like
Could have
no
blinded
glasses
myself.
on.
Yeah. Looking down blades and just
Yeah,
oh,
What
thank
are you
God I've got this
doing?
protection.
I don't know, but honestly, it's happened about 3 times since I've had them, but they've actually stopped me from something
Yeah.
going in my eye, which I've been like, oh, nice.
Wow.
But
Nice.
my girlfriend does makeup like so close to her eye that
I don't know how
it
she does it.
worries me, and like I just go, how can you put that so close to your fucking eye? Because one slip, and you've just
Dead.
shoved something straight
Dead.
through your eyeball, and it's like
Yeah, but they're brushes, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they're designed
yeah,
not
but like
to be.
if you slip, if you're like really close and maybe you sneeze or something, then you've blinded yourself. And it's like
You can't blind yourself
God.
like from that
It-
close. To jab with that much force to
don't
blind
know.
yourself. I don't.
it would
think.
be a freak accident, but still, it's just so close to the eye. It's just like, ugh.
Also, they're not like sharp,
No.
hard things.
No.
They're bendy.
Yeah, they are. All their plastic and stuff, but still, like.
I think you got.
I'm just saying, a freak accident
real
can happen.
phobia of.
I just don't like things touching eyes, guys. Is that wrong?
So, your eyes are a hole in the middle, right?
Oh, fucking
they
hell.
are.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Give us a
Fucking
theory.
hell.
Give us a theory about eyes.
But I mean, like,
Your cornea.
without the jelly over the top, like the
Jelly, yeah.
the what's it called? The lens.
lens.
The lens over the top. You can stick stuff in your
You
in
can
your
get
pupil.
right in there. Yeah.
in your pupil, and it's hollow.
Do you reckon you could like not touch the edges?
That doesn't.
That's
You couldn't
true.
just put something through your pupil. Well, you mean once you take the lens?
Once
the
you
cap
take
off.
the cap
Well, you've
off.
had laser eye surgery, Trott.
I have. And they were fucking jamming cocktail sticks and all sorts down there. So you
Yeah,
like,
they were like,
hey,
"Whoa,
hey,
look at this, fucking
Look at this.
open."
Look at me prove a point.
How many
Whoops,
cocktail
I
sticks?
slipped.
How many cocktail
Got the
sticks
edge.
because I get in this guy's pupil? He just like cuts down to you and just like, all right, guys, how's it go? How's the surgery? Yeah,
Right.
it's fine, mate.
We're gonna hold this well still. I'm gonna put some steroids in your eyes to really tighten up that cornea.
You got
You're
it.
gonna hold it with hold the cocktail
Searing
stick
hot pin.
with your cornea.
It's great, guys.
Ah, I could do this all day. This
Fuck,
isn't
dilate
dangerous
him.
at
Dilate
all.
him.
I mean, do you think anyone's ever smuggled drugs inside their eyes?
No, no,
don't
I
know.
do not. No,
I reckon you
unless
get-
they had a missing eye and they popped it out and it was like, oh, got
much
through
space
this
is in
tiny
there?
amount of drugs.
How hollow is it in there?
Not very hollow.
No.
No.
Is it like the
It's literally I think the shape of your pupil back, like that's the maximum width. Rather, the side, it's not going to be like the ball of the eye is just a fucking Easter egg.
just hollow?
Oh, there's fucking dairy milk burst buttons in here.
But don't you find it strange that it is possible for some people to detach them to a point where they almost droop out completely, and then
What?
obviously you
Your
can see
eyes?
perfectly fine. You can start moving it around.
Yeah, people pop their eyes out all the time. Yeah.
That's so fucking scary and weird.
They do.
You can
on
always
the,
tell though the kind of people that can do it. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like, you see the people that can do the popping, the eye popping, and you're
But
like,
the only time you would have seen them is because they've been on TV or something.
Britain's Got Talent. I
How
think
often have you
had-
seen it in real life?
oh,
someone-
sometimes I look at them and like that boggled-eyed freak. He
Well,
can
yeah,
probably
but
pop his eyes.
They're on TV for a reason because their eyes pop out. Like that's why you've seen them.
Yeah, probably.
But you
So
can
like,
tell.
you can tell their eyes pop out. Oh look, they're about to do it. Oh, their eyes
Right.
have popped out.
If you get me 5 headshots of people that can do it and 5 headshots of people that can't.
Smiths
I bet
will-
you.
Well,
They're
they've obviously popped their eyes out, so they're going to look bulbous. It's
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
There's a tell.
There's a tell.
There is a tell. The bulbous
Do you reckon
eyes.
Prue can do it?
No,
No.
I don't think
That's
Prue
why
can
she's
do
got the
it.
glass on, just to keep the fuckers in.
Yeah, just see them in fucking swimming goggles.
She's like that guy from the character from The Big Breakfast. You know, the alien with the fucking like dangly eyes.
was it
Zig and Zag?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one though?
Fuck me, that's an old meme.
Zigzag is actually a brand of Rizzler as well.
Yeah, but Zig and Zag is different.
I feel like
Put
maybe.
the and in the middle and you're sorted, but they could cash in on that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think.
But
When
talking
I've-
about weird British programs, have you seen Naked Attraction?
No.
Yes. I find it very interesting.
The other day there was a group of really old dudes on there, and it was
Can you
Eye
explain the
opening.
premise?
the premise is there
Is
are
that where they show like their
6
feet
people.
first?
Yep.
And they're
They're in
like,
booths.
There are
Yeah.
6 naked people in booths, lined up, ready for one person, male or female, whoever, to make a judgment on who they like the look of the most.
Yeah, and
it's
they
very
reveal bits of their body
materialistic. Yeah, in terms
And
of
each
it's very-
round, a new bit of the
from
body
bottom
is-
to top, right?
Yeah, from bottom to top.
Yeah, and there's a screen that so that'll lift up.
This is-
So you'll look at their legs and go, oh, lovely legs, oh, nice tattoo. Oh,
What do you think of this one?
Knobbly.
And they've got to eliminate a person each round. So they're like, oh, I don't like that person's feet. They're out.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the person choosing which person they like the most also becomes naked.
Yes.
And
So at one point they've got to become naked completely, which
Yeah.
I feel would probably be. I mean, obviously it depends on the person, but probably be the thing that's racking through their mind constantly until they have to get naked at the end. So they're obviously judging, but I feel like there may be some clouded judgment there because they're like,
They've
"God, I've
changed
got to
the
get naked in,
focus
like,
of
5
what-
minutes. Let's delay this.
Yeah, they're changing the whole like dynamic of meeting somebody. You don't meet someone and see their feet.
Mhm.
It's like
It
then you look
depends
at
if
their-
you're
their
like a foot
face and-
doctor and you haven't seen their face and you're just coming into surgery and like,
Oh
wow,
my.
those feet. Wow, what beautiful feet.
I've never seen behind the veil
I want
before.
to date this person.
Or yeah.
It's Queenie. It's the Queen. I want to date this person.
Are you expecting like a foot doctor just
Proof.
to sat in an isolated room and then just feet come through a hole
There are feet through a hole.
and then they do their work
And they're
on
like,
the feet?
I
It's
don't
like,
need to see like
"Thank
a
you, good
glory
day."
hole for feet.
little slap on the feet and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
What-
surgeon
what if you're
glory
one of
holes are a
those-
thing.
Those little fish that eats the dead skin off people's feet.
Well, that
The koi
didn't,
carp.
wasn't that risky because it
It's not very good for you.
it
Yeah.
could
Spreads
also
diseases.
spread like HIV or something because
Foot fungus.
or any kind of
Anything,
hepatitis. or
anything
whatever.
in water that you're putting your feet into.
Also blood.
well, anyone with like cuts and
Yeah.
stuff, and then the fish get them, and then they spread.
So you're
it.
saying I shouldn't be dunking a cup into that tank and having
No.
a swig?
You,
You
certainly
shouldn't-
shouldn't be
More free water.
cutting your feet with serrated blades before you do either.
It's surprising how
I'm
many
just a risk
like
taker.
mini malls, not malls, but you know, like
Yeah,
those
yeah.
inside areas in
Yeah.
Britain, like Taunton has one where they have like
Yeah.
a fountain in the middle, like a really shallow one.
Mhm.
They were all dumping those koi carp in there. It's like, here's the brand new thing, and there's like, you know,
Dirty,
elderly
muddy
couple
water.
with their fucking feet off. in
It's
there, and,
quackery.
like, quackery.
Yeah, isn't it? You're talking about the fish that eat the skin?
Yeah.
Or are you just talking about koi carp?
I just think
Because they're two different things.
I think they're koi carp.
I don't think they are koi
No,
carp.
they're
But
probably
looping back round, I mean, remember that clip of the koi carp and that dude feeding his knob into it? I'm trying to loop back round to the naked
I
attraction.
don't think that
thing.
was a koi carp, but I think it was a carp. There's a
That
difference.
is the most
We need to stop
disturbing thing.
fixating on koi carp. There are
Sorry,
Japanese
that is
ornamental
extremely,
fish.
So, sorry, there is a video online of a dude helping his buddy put his knob into the fish's mouth, and then he just
I
helps
thought
him.
that was a frog.
No, it's an,
No, that's a monkey and a toad, I think. Have you not seen
I
that?
haven't seen that one.
Oh, you
I haven't seen that one. I've seen the guy, and they're laughing their
Yeah.
heads off, and it's like, God, but look at this fucking fish. You're just fucking the fish mouth.
It's really gross.
Like, that's so fucked up.
Just
It's really
Google
gross.
monkey
And his mates-
uses frog.
Google
Google
it.
it.
He wasn't even, well, he wasn't even hard, was he?
Oh, a little bit. So going back to what Ross
What
is
is
talking
this
about.
episode?
Tiny bit. This isn't.
So I said I'd seen a
Fucking
video
hell.
that Daff had showed me.
Ah,
This is
Daff.
Daff. So I got to
Classic
incriminate
Daff.
Daff as well.
It's the Welsh. I knew,
Two grown
It's
men.
the Welsh.
I knew it. I knew
He
this.
threw all the Welsh
yeah,
in there.
Oh, Welsh. It's-
Two
it's the
grown
Welsh,
men
they knew it.
standing knee deep in a river, whilst one of them holds a gigantic fucking cart that's like this big. It's like the size. I mean, how do I?
It's hard to
quantify
handle.
people
It's
listening?
huge. It's a huge fish.
It's
Shoulder
like the
width.
size of a serving platter
Yeah.
you'd get at like a banquet or something, right? And he's holding it there, like out of the water, whilst his mate's just got his semi-erect penis just in this fish's mouth, and then somebody else is filming it.
Oh yeah, someone else is filming. It was from a. It was
And
a,
they're just like,
lol. And they were doing it for quite some time. Like the video was.
Why'd you watch the whole thing?
but like,
about- how
why are
long-
they? Why? What conversation happened where those three reasonable people thought
Reasonable people.
they must?
Reasonable.
Wow, I mean,
they went to the ocean and thought, you know what's going to be a
Carl
good
Parney.
idea.
Well, there's some, but no, this was a river.
They went to a river and thought, "Pff,
They're probably
Do
drunk,
you reckon I
right?
can get my knob in its mouth?
It's probably at Ibiza where that guy...
Want to see? Want to try?
Even drunk try, I wouldn't put my erect dick in a fish mouth of my mate who's
No.
holding it. Like,
Then
Yeah.
I doubt they're reasonable people.
No, the reasonable comment
There you go.
is moot.
Monkey using frog for oral.
Do I have to watch this? I mean, is this
You
the thing
don't.
that I don't...
You don't, but we could get your live reaction of it.
Okay, does the sound need to be on?
Don't know.
I feel like because
It's
are
because
they watching it in a zoo?
It's at the zoo.
Right, so monkey... Oh, man. Jeez, this
They're
is...
filming the monkey.
And how long is this video? This is like a 2-minute long video.
I assume
probably
the people
similar like to the
filming
other one.
thought, oh, he's got a pet frog. That's
Yeah.
cute. He's
And then
holding
he's
the
just like-
frog.
And now he's just kind of humping it. Poor frog, eh? So poor frog, he's just literally just been manhandled and now is being
Using
used
it like a
as
flashlight.
literally a flashlight. It's a flashlight frog.
So it's a
And now he's laying down and just really going to town. The frog legs are going, oh, man. The poor little frog, man.
How did you find that
Does
so
it
fast?
survive?
That's on YouTube.
Did the frog live?
I
Do you
don't
think the
know.
frog died because of...
I assume it would.
You think so?
Imagine a skewer.
He's just
As
using it as a
big as
flashlight.
you.
A fucking... That's weird. That's nature. That's weird.
Yeah.
Nature is
Fucked
weird.
up.
Anyway, I was going to
Oh.
talk about... I was going to talk about the
Smith
weird
loves
dicks that
it.
are on
Wait, he's walking around with it stuck on his feet.
Oh, he's just wandering. He's not even like attending to it. He's not even touching
Yeah.
it. It's just
That's-
there.
He's just
Got it.
walking around and the frog is just...
Just a dead frog in his dick. He's just got it there. He's like, oh fuck, it's still there.
It's dark, but just so absurd. Like,
Ah.
it's... I mean, obviously I feel bad for the frog. I like frogs,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's just just an
Nature's weird.
absurd... It is.
But anyway, this cycles back to the
Nature
naked
is
attraction
metal.
where it lifts up, and then you see the knobs, right? And the range of knobs, and they must have been about maybe over 60.
Some
I
are
would say.
Q-shaped.
Now-
Capital Q.
I've only ever Q-shaped, capital Q.
Just
What?
think-
Just kind of. What do you mean? Well, like a tiny
That's why
little,
it's so hard
tiny
to
little
imagine.
peen, and
It's
just
so hard
bought,
to
like,
imagine a
like a
penis
loop.
in the shape of a capital Q.
There was a dude on there who looked like he had a hard on it, but it was tiny as fuck, and it was like minuscule. And this
Right.
woman who was doing the judging, she went to him, "Oh, it's not all about size." Up to his face, and he had a really
Wow.
friendly, like he seemed quite like a
What did he
friendly
say
faced
to
man.
that?
Where you just nodded.
Did he
like-
just die inside?
Wow, I
Is
think
it
he probably looked
obvious?
around because there were a few guys hanging dong, like they're the big old
It's
knobbers.
not all about that though, Ross.
No, it's not. Some of the guy he was
Might be
some of the guy was clearly
microscopic.
compensating for the fact that he was balding. Well, wasn't balding, and that he could still grow hair. So he decided to grow it this long, but it's all kind of thinning and grey and like it wasn't styled
Give
in
up.
any way. So it was like it's a brag
Yeah.
to these other dudes who are all balding and stuff. But the other time it kind of looks kind of creepy and it's quite lank and
Yeah, that's
greasy
horrible.
and it's,
Yeah.
oh. Anyway, it's a weird show. But that was the first time I've seen anyone probably over the age of 30. on it,
Yeah, there's...
which was a kind of a shock.
I
Factor. You
haven't
don't really
seen
see
that.
that very often. The
Or
elderly
naked people.
being portrayed in such a way. The elderly.
How old are we talking? 60s?
60 plus.
Yeah, but usually it's like
You
people
know.
in their 30s.
Like,
Yeah.
but picture your mum naked.
Fucking hell.
Let's just give him some time.
Too late.
Jesus
Too late.
Christ.
Done it. I picture
Yeah?
your mum naked.
Now what?
That's it. I'm done. But imagine her on that show.
Stop it. Get out. Stop thinking about my mum
But
naked.
it's really weird. Anyway, so this also kind of older woman then eventually cracks her kit off, lifts her belly up to show her vagina as well, which was
Oh.
even more kind of like disturbing as well. So that was a really weird episode of.
Whoa, that sounds grim.
This
I
is
usually watch it
and obviously I clearly watched it in full. So
Yeah, you did.
oh, fuck. It's like an endurance event.
I don't
it was
really,
curiosity at the most because like
I
these
can
guys.
see the appeal of it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like literally breaking down human psychology of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but
oh,
it's
we're putting attraction first.
but it
No,
doesn't
well,
work.
no. Also, it's kind of fascinating because it's very raw, isn't it? You're just seeing exactly what they are. Like, there's no like good angles or the fucking like smoothing face thing that
Sure.
we all know you're using. By the way, people who use that fucking thing that gets rid of blemishes and stuff on your face. It's obvious it's being used.
Yeah, but don't
I
attack
think it's
people
automatic
for
in
it.
some
I
apps
just,
as
I
well.
just, I don't care. I just feel like it's become.
It's
a
not
culture.
because they're like pretending. It's because they're anxious about showing anything,
Yeah.
but because that's
But
what's
it's become
accepted.
such a norm.
Exactly.
Like, but I
Do
don't
you-
want it to be.
Do you
norm.
predict a future where everyone's selfies are going to be just shadowless plates of a color,
Yeah.
and then eyes and a mouth?
Yeah.
It's like
Wow,
that
no blemishes at all.
Yeah.
No shadows.
What's that
Shadowless,
Doctor Who
beautiful.
villain? Oh, a creature that's just stretching out skin with the face.
I don't know what
Have you
where's
seen
that from? Yeah,
That's
like a
Doctor
little,
Who.
little mouth.
Doctor Who, and they
Is it
squid
Doctor
it with
Who?
water to keep it lubed up. What is that thing?
fucking
Oh, I think Sam
weird.
knows what it is. He's going to find
Stretched
it.
out on a frame.
What's it
Oh,
called?
That'll
I
be the
don't know.
future.
Face of bird.
That's not the same thing.
It's not
Surely
that one.
It's not that one.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
really cool.
There's
though.
like
I don't think
it's
it's
a
Doctor
female
Who's-
character that's stretched out and just has
face
chats.
is just smeared up like a big
Hang on,
stretchy
chat
bit of skin.
knows.
Chat will know.
Um,
Doctor Who stretched skin face or something.
But
Of
is it-
Cassandra. yeah.
oh, he's found it. All right, bring that up. Oh my god.
Look at that thing.
So this is like a large stretched piece of
What
skin
is
with
that?
veins and then a fucking
But
face
if you,
in the middle.
if you
just
crop it
a
in
nose
so
with a
it's
space.
just that, not the edges, that'll be the filter. It just removes
Yeah.
all your facial features
Okay,
apart
so
from the
that's
eyes
the
and
future filter. So in 10 years' time, everyone's selfies going to look like this, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, you look so beautiful." Oh my
Yeah,
god.
You're trying to imagine what it looks like. Imagine the underside of a stingray, and you've got it.
But you just put eyes and a mouth on it.
Yeah, but the stingrays have little mouths.
They have a little mouth, yeah.
But do you remember a
Yeah,
time
you're
where
right. Yeah.
having like a larger ass or bigger like features like that were considered a negative thing in terms of beauty or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
Well,
And
it's-
now having the biggest ass possible seems to be and the tiniest waist, which doesn't make sense.
Biologically, it
biologically,
doesn't.
yeah.
Because I think, isn't it because if you're virile and you have wide hips, it's like more attractive for
It's fertile.
men. It's for fertility
I want to
reasons.
throw my
So
seed in you.
If it, the idea is, it's
Not
easier to
that-
deliver
yeah.
a child successfully if you have wider hips. So it's more attractive.
So it's like it's an attraction thing biologically because like it's more likely
Yeah.
to reproduce.
But then the big
carry
ass
on the
thing is
line.
kind of not really about hip size. It's about, like you say, it's almost like, when people started like putting big wheels on their cars. It's like, I got 22s. Oh, you got 22s? I got 24s. And you're like, what? 26s? It's like that, except now with asses, I think, where they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're augmenting them. Like, it's mad.
I'm looking forward
Put
to
ass implants.
cubes.
Cubism.
I
When
think
we
that'll
go
be-
into a cubist beauty,
Let's start like just like sharpening them
square
off.
them off. Yeah.
Yeah, make them useful.
Man.
Put some shelving in there.
See that chick's ass? So square.
so cubed.
Holy shit! Get a spirit level.
Check out the lines on that ass. Spirit level.
Perfect.
Perfectly level.
This doctor
me.
did a great job.
Perfect.
Just belfies with the level on it. Wow, it's like a shelf. I'm gonna stack some
what's a-
beers on that.
What's a belfie?
Butt selfie,
Oh,
I think.
Belfie.
Remember Pelfie?
That makes sense.
what's that?
There was a pizza selfie, wasn't it? Like Sips is doing. I can't remember if he did some sort of. It could be a penis selfie, to be honest.
Mm.
Pelfie. Either way, it's strange that that's now a thing. I think, and we see people
Like
like
cubed asses. That's not a thing yet, Ross.
Kylie Jenner, is it? One of the Jenners has a giant ass and
Mm.
has like put fucking God knows what in there to make it big. It's like, why? What a weird thing to kind of like also influence people to do.
Well, yeah. I guess a
Get
position
your ass
of
real fucking
power
big.
is you have
That
to
waist
be
tiny somehow.
you have to be responsible, right? And clearly they're not because they push these stupid pills
You
and
don't have to
stuff.
do
It's
anything,
like a
that's the thing,
miracle
yeah.
weight loss pills and crap.
Diuretic
They clearly
teas.
don't care about their audience at all
Yeah.
and
No.
just themselves earning money.
Yeah.
But it's all like, it's kind of like Michael Jackson, right? Where it probably started out of him getting his hair burnt and therefore him being
Self-conscious from that.
super self-conscious about that and then
Yeah.
having plastic surgery correct it and then realizing there's other problems with his face and correcting that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it becomes a
But
psychological
also he
problem.
was abused as a child as well.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot
Which,
of
then he
factors.
clearly mirrored in his own life.
So I don't think it comes from a place of like, oh yeah, I just want a bigger ass or I just want a more
But you-
fucked up face.
But
It's just like I'm self-conscious about this now because
Yeah.
I've corrected this, but now it's making this look fucked up, so I need to fix that.
then other people will see it and go, well, I've got to do the same thing because I want to look like that person or achieve what they've achieved somehow.
And again, like position
Which-
of power, you have to be careful about that sort of thing.
Mm.
So,
'Cause there was a story about someone who...
which is why I'm not going to
spend
get the cube
shitloads of
implants
money. Where
if
is
that's
it?
what you're thinking.
That's why I thought we'd already started the Patreon for that.
But think how easy you could sit down anywhere.
Chris Trott's QB bolt-ons.
QB bolt.
Be
Yeah, because
amazing.
here it is. I did have this last week, but somebody spent £5,000 and when they couldn't really afford it, so they could take photos for their Instagram. Right, so they
Oh,
went
what?
on a holiday and stuff. They were like they
£5,000
saw one,
pounds?
Oh, I
they saw
saw
someone
this,
was going
yeah.
on holiday as well. They were like, oh well, I've got to go as well, and I'm going to take pictures for my Instagram and stuff. I mean, they don't have like many followers, so obviously they were just
How
kind
many?
of trying to live this dream. Well,
Like a few
a
hundred.
few hundred.
Oh, not even like
Like
5,000.
not
like £1.
not enough the way you would spend silly money to try and grow that.
They put
Yeah.
$5,000 on
Um,
a credit card and went to Disneyland,
Cost about
And-
8k overall apparently.
and they just like took photos of it, and that's
777 followers.
like that's fucked up, isn't
But
it?
what do they spend money on?
going
Well,
to Disneyland.
I mean, it's going to cost shitloads to go to Disneyland in the first
Right, I
place,
thought
right?
it was like an Instagram package or something.
No,
where they,
no,
like,
no. It's
take
not like
photos
a-
for you,
This is self-done. She did this herself,
just for
hoping
Instagram.
to get a few
Not
more
to
likes
enjoy
than normal.
Disneyland,
Mm.
just to.
Well, we've touched on this before.
Yeah.
It's that sort of that insecurity, that paranoia, that feeling that you need other people to see you having a good
Just
life.
to validate you.
Yeah, and then that's why these people do it.
And often it's a fake life.
Yeah,
And most people that put stuff on Instagram frame it in such a way that it makes them seem like they're having a great time.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this here
Ultimately,
says
they're not. It's just
psychologist Christine Bagley Jones. Great name. Great start.
fantastic name.
Thinks Instagrammers believe spending will lead to happiness, which a lot of people do believe, right? They believe if you've got shitloads of money, you should be happy.
I mean,
right?
it happens in the short term, right? You buy something, you're excited
You
about
buy-
it.
yeah, and
you
then-
get your
but
dopamine
is
fix,
Enough.
and then 3 weeks later, you forget. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I forgot I bought that.
They've
Yeah.
compared
In
it
the
to
drawer.
fast food here, saying not very substantial and nutritious. You've got to keep going back for another hit
Yeah.
of that same.
And
feeling,
that's
right?
why businesses succeed on that drive and that decline of that fix, so they can provide you something new.
Like
Yes.
WoW Classic.
Wow,
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah, which is only a subscription away from you guys enjoying it, which you've already got,
Well, we got it now for the. Yeah, we did a stream on it, didn't we?
and it feels good,
But
right? Felt good.
sure, it was alright. Yeah, jumping in. I mean,
Felt
I don't know
good.
how different is it from like the modern one, as in like the
Quite
Very
different.
different.
Is it very
The
different?
modern
Well-
one's like a dopamine machine. It's like a fully optimized. Like
It's all there.
you can do whatever you want as soon as possible. Like there's no waiting really involved
And
in modern
it's like
WoW.
visually very much upgraded. Also, it handholds you
Right.
the whole time. Like
Yeah.
the quest is exactly over here. Here, let me draw a path for you.
Mm.
And you just have to walk over there, or just teleport there if you want. We got that option.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's literally just they've boiled it down to just like it's pure like dopamine release triggers. Like,
may as well just be opening packs.
yeah,
point.
pretty much. Pretty
Really?
much.
Yeah,
Okay, wow.
same kind of buzz.
Same concept. Yeah. Anyway, what else we got?
Well, we have a lot of questions and stuff that we had from last week that we didn't get around to. There was a story about emojis getting you laid, apparently.
How?
Um,
Tell me more
well, clearly you want to know.
quickly.
It says people who use more emojis have more sex and get more dates.
How is this
How did
measured?
they?
How
New
is
research
this
suggests that
measured?
emojis are better at making social connections somehow. I mean, just straight away from that, that's kind of a bizarre thing to even.
I can
try and
understand
research.
because text is limited, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can't get your point across sometimes, like you're being sarcastic or like I'm just being jokey about it, so you
Yeah.
put a little tonguey face in there, or you add to like a romantic thing, or you add a heart or like happy birthday, put a cake. I understand emphasis on things, but
Well, like
It
so,
says-
essentially, in these environments, in dating environments,
Yeah.
there are two things. You got the communication aspect, right,
Mhm.
and the getting what you want. People who are better at communicating are often better at understanding what other people want, and
Right.
therefore it's easier to make quick decisions about how to interact with them, right? So it's like when a person is not very good at reading social cues or that kind of thing, they're less likely to make a good impression on somebody because like that person's like, this guy's talking all the fucking time, you know, like. You know, I don't really like this person. But if you're good at understanding people and communicating, and it's a two-way street, communication's a two-way street, you are probably going to be more successful in finding partners because we're social
that's
animals.
the thing. I think it's just these studies piss me off because it's like this is a definite cause of this.
Yeah.
When in
They probably
actuality,
asked 20 people.
they're both just symptoms of a thing that's
Mhm.
got way more variables to it. There's
Correlation
not just,
is not causation.
exactly.
as
It's
it
not
goes.
just emojis
Yeah.
that are causing this. It's like going back to eating your own jizz.
Mhm.
And
Okay, good. I'm glad
giving
we're
you
full
that.
circle.
Of course.
Yeah, full
it's a
circle
good
again.
fucking full
course.
circle. That person thinks because they've been doing that it's caused this effect. When in actuality, it's probably something else.
And they've been chugging vitamins on the side and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they
Well,
got
those have
good
been helping.
genes, or like their lifestyle otherwise is probably quite healthy.
Yeah.
It's not the jizz. You could probably cut out the jizz and have
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
same.
you
Yeah.
can stop eating the jizz. Come
Yeah,
on.
But like to them, it's like, well, I've known no different, and I've got the fear of not doing it,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just going to keep it up. That's how cults work as well.
Wow.
Wow, there we
Jesus Christ.
go. What? So you have the jizz drinking part,
It's
right?
the fear of like, if I don't have this, I've got nothing.
Oh yeah. Especially
Well,
when
yeah,
you told them what your
But then
secrets.
does that also tie in with addiction as well?
Yeah.
Because mentally you're kind of like, well, I need this thing because it does this to me, or
Mhm.
this makes me feel good, so I'll keep doing this.
Yeah, it's like having your
I keep
rituals and things like that. Like,
putting
I've been
emojis
praying
in.
every night for this thing, and so far I've not been hit by a bus,
Yeah.
so therefore it must be working.
It's a bus deflecting serum.
There's got to be a
find-
term for it, right?
I find like talking about like addiction and things, so
Yeah.
like all sorts of things, you know, like games,
You can get
drugs,
addicted to anything,
films, yeah, all sorts of things, right?
Toenail clippings.
What's weird is, like you say, it's like you get addictions because you're like, oh, I want that again, or I want to do that thing again, or it makes me feel good. But then again, there are certain things that still make you feel good in life, but it's not necessarily an addiction. I guess it just becomes too much of something is an addiction.
So what's the difference between a habit and an addiction?
Yeah, because my parents always used to say like, oh, you're addicted to those games, and like,
like, fuck you, Mum.
It's like,
I'll play games until I'm dead.
yeah.
I have to tear them from my cold, dead hands.
But it's kind of like,
but I'm not addicted.
You're addicted to television.
I think
Like you could say like, well, you watch television 3 hours a night.
It's more like habit, isn't it? It's like we could stop doing it. Yeah, sure, but I'd rather not, and I could spend my time doing something else. But
so is an addiction something that is something you want to stop?
Addiction
but you
is
can't
like
stop it.
you physically
So in
can't
terms
stop.
of like it has to be a negative thing.
Yeah, you need intervention in order to stop that addiction. Whereas we could stop playing video games, sure, but like out of defiance because my parents telling me not to, I kind of want to play it more now. So
I can load up another one.
You know what? I'm going to play 2 games at once.
I mean,
Chameleon Eye on this shit.
Could we stop playing video games? I think it'd be
so.
Extremely detrimental to us.
Bad for our channel.
In terms of business.
Bad for our channel.
Bad for business.
Bad because it stops you doing something you like doing. Bad because I hang around with quite a few of my friends online, and like if I stopped playing games, I just wouldn't hang around with them anymore,
as much,
right? Like,
but again, is that back to the eating jizz thing? You're eating jizz every single day, and you think that you have all these structures built around eating that jizz, which you eat jizz. You're eating jizz,
don't eat jizz
every
just
single
to
day.
be clear, I don't eat jizz.
Well, he does eat. He gobbles
Well, I'm
it
talking
down.
about games.
Gobbles
but
it. That's a better word for it. Gobble.
Gobbling down the jizz every day,
Yeah.
and you got all these friends because you're eating this jizz.
Yeah.
You've got that fear that you're never gonna. There's a potential there, if you stop eating that jizz, maybe have other friends that aren't into you jizz eating.
Used to eat jizz, man. Used to be cool.
Or like, you might have a better circle of friends out there because you're on playing dough every day, eating jizz, that potential's lost.
I mean, a similar thing for like,
lost.
like obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Where you're like, well, I haven't died yet, so I better flick this light switch on 3 times.
Ooh, what if I do 4 times? Is that extra luck?
Well, no, then you got to do it 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
May as well round it up to 10 at that
that's
point.
Probably a lot more complex.
9. It's multiples of 3, Trot.
Shit, yeah, you're right.
No,
I shouldn't
you
be
could
lying.
never be an OCDer. I hate it when people use it. Oh God,
I'm so OCD.
I try and avoid it because I know, like,
it's a genuine thing, right? And
absolutely,
some people genuinely like don't want to have to fucking switch
and
the light
being
switch on whatever
tidy
many
is
times,
not
but
being OCD.
OCD is real, and
Yeah.
it's a real disorder. But people use it as like I just can't. I've got this habit, and I just can't not do it.
I gotta straighten up my pens on my table. I'm so OCD. Shut the fuck up. You're so fucking basic. Is what makes me feel.
Okay.
It's kind of like using another disorder to like define your life in like.
It's like using
joke.
any disorder to define you and make you more interesting, which is a symptom of society, I think. Like,
I keep like doubling this up. I'm so cancer.
yeah,
Doesn't sound right, does it?
yeah.
It's almost,
like-
but then you might relate that to the like star sign.
Yeah, but I don't.
What? No, sure.
No. I was like, what? And I was like, oh wait, no, there is. Yeah, the crab.
Mm.
Do you wish you
Yeah,
were the crab sometime?
weird that
I
it's called
wish I
cancer.
was at Cramp.
What are you,
sometimes.
Aquarius?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo.
I'm
Yeah,
Aquarius.
September.
You're
boy.
Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm that
Fishman.
mermaid.
You are a mermaid.
Sweet.
Weird. I was just talking about that. What's Virgo's goat? No, that.
It's like, is it the balancing scales? Is that?
Oh, it is.
Virgo?
Yeah.
I think so. I
yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
I'm a bull.
Or a bull.
Taurus.
Big old fucking bull. It's really cool. It's like your own Pokemon, isn't it? I think that's why people like star signs. Because again, it's like an illness. You could use it to make yourself more interesting, right?
Also
you
use
have
a
no control
horoscope.
over it. It just happens.
Yeah.
Read your horoscope, and so far has not been untrue
Yeah.
because it's so spurious.
So vague.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am alive, and I do have 2 eyes.
Yeah.
It could rain tomorrow.
I relate.
I think it is sad that people have to, like, I've definitely been in that position. As a kid growing up, you make up things about yourself, or like you say things about yourself which just to make yourself seem more interesting.
Did you
to
say
fit
anything
in.
specific? Do you remember any things that you would say about yourself that weren't? Maybe you embellished,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then you were like,
Yeah.
"Wow,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I
I've got
think
a fucking tiger at home. It's just like a cat. that
not
looks
a
bit-
tiger. I wouldn't say that I have a tiger at
It's
home.
like little white lies. isn't
Yeah,
it?
like you just
I do own a Ferrari.
yeah. Well,
like Jay on
again,
In-Betweeners style, where he kind of would say
Not
any
that
old
bad.
bollocks just to kind of try to sound
Yeah.
impressive. But everyone's
We
like,
all
oh,
had
okay, we
someone
get it.
Yeah,
in
there was
school
someone
that
like
was
that.
like that,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
right? Like this guy said, like, "Oh, my dad's in the Navy and he takes me out on his ships like every holiday, and,
Yeah.
or he gives me like an Xbox whenever he
it'll just
wants.
When in reality, unfortunately, that kid probably doesn't see his dad that much because he might be in the Navy, but he's away for a year or whatever. And the way that kid quantifies that is by saying it's really cool. And when in reality, he's probably quite sad. And that's what is quite sad about those things.
Surely that's not every case, though.
Not
Surely there
ever.
is one guy there's like,
He's having a fucking great time.
I'm having a great. I'm on a whale all the
destroyer.
time. Yeah,
He
it's
let me
just
use the guns.
this guy.
But then again, like that person in that position probably feels bad for having all of that and all his friends not. So he's probably doing the reverse, saying like trying to like
play it down,
to not be that guy. So maybe
But it's like us, like
play it down?
we get really awesome experiences, and
and we
like
play it down.
your friends or whatever ask you about what you've been doing, and like not to sound like you don't want to sound like, oh, I did this cool thing and I did this cool thing. Like we do really cool stuff, so it's like, oh, I did this. Like
I try not to talk about it.
yeah,
It's a weird thing because you don't want to make people feel shit because you get to do nice things or
Yeah.
get to play games for a
I
living. and
often
they've been
ask
working really
them
hard to get a
first
job.
what they've been doing. If they tell me something like, "Oh, I've had a real shit day at work," so what a fucking great day.
But is that a bit patronising? Do you think? I mean, maybe it is because
I wouldn't.
they
do
are
that.
your friends still, but like.
this is
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
Like
you don't want to brag about stuff, but they are your friends and you can talk to them about this
Yeah.
stuff. But I
Yeah.
don't feel like
I think
and then
it's-
you get the additional insecurity of by not talking too much about what you do because you're worried it'll sound too awesome. You're like, well, maybe it isn't awesome to these people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so it's
like-
but then you're just, it's a mental
Doubting.
head games of like, I'll just shut the fuck up. You want a drink? Just drown your sorrows.
Yeah.
And you can't like say that you're having a bad time. at work.
No, that's one thing. Because obviously, ultimately, like, all we do is, fun stuff, really.
Yeah.
And like,
And
but
what people
it
see is the fun shit that we
Yeah.
show. But there's, the menial side of it as well.
Mm.
Like, fucking hell. I have to walk here for one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You've got
The
an
thing is-
electric scooter.
But you see it all the time Twitter's quite a good bed for that kind of thing, where somebody will like complain that, I don't know, a post hasn't succeeded in a certain way, or
Yeah.
I can't believe my video hasn't hit 1 million views in 2 hours. It's so unreal. Like, what's going on? It's like,
It's crazy how
That's
people's
all right.
norms
Let-
get
try the next time.
set or
Yeah.
like changed, or that becomes their reality. Like for PewDiePie, for example, like losing 1 million subs is probably nothing, but
yeah,
to us that would literally be a
that's
career
everything.
ender.
That's the whole.
That's a
It's
straight up.
more than all of them.
But like to
We're in the
him-
negatives somehow.
Minus 200.
But he still has the same anxieties that we have in terms of like succeeding on YouTube.
I think so.
But it's more like relative to his level.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think he must be
Like he's
self-aware
not
enough that
there
he knows,
and
yeah.
like saying like fucking A, I've done it, I've made it.
Yeah.
Instead, he's worrying about that day to day still.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Whereas, one bad move and we just don't have a career.
Yeah.
Or like, we've lost. We don't have enough money to retire on, basically,
Yeah.
like a lot of these other guys do.
Like if
So
all that
it's
shit
just
of
like
Craig came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
That'll be it.
heroin, man. It's just
God, I
getting out
really
of hand. It's taking a
genuinely
heroin
hope there
holiday.
isn't a
I
Craig
can't
thing.
keep holding it back for him.
What, the heroin? Just let him have loads.
withholding the heroin from him.
He's getting very strong.
Because I do find that it's quite an interesting thing that, one fuck up or like kind of, you have to try really hard on YouTube to get to a certain level, and you see somebody else complaining about it. It does make you feel like, oh fuck, like just.
That's
be
the thing,
thankful.
though.
So
it's
you
like,
then, and in turn, you're like, well, I can't complain about what we've got. 'cause
yeah, that's the thing.
it's really
like,
good. Like,
I feel
it's on
bad
levels.
about complaining because ultimately people utilize us as entertainment and escape from that sort of like I had a shit day at work, therefore I'll watch hat films and watch them be shit at something. But it's funny for me to then complain like about my job. It's like, well, you guys are literally the thing that makes me feel better, and now you feel bad about your thing.
I think something that
You're in a privileged position, kind of thing.
yeah.
something that I think a lot of YouTubers probably struggle with, and I definitely do, is identity and what is a YouTuber's identity. Like if you look at other people in the public eye, like footballers, musicians, like people like that, there's set ways for them to behave, or set ways we expect
For good
them to see.
reason.
Yes, but they also have this identity. So like when a footballer's on the field, or like they score an awesome goal, and they're like doing all their poses and stuff, and like and then like you'll see them out on their super yachts with their hot women, and same with like musicians. So like rappers and stuff like that usually have a certain way of dressing, of doing activities, all sorts of things like that. But with YouTubers, like I don't know what my identity is meant to be like, because do you go out on a stage and be like, yes, I'm the fucking shit, because that's what people want to see. They want to see you, being awesome, or do you try and be humble? It's a complex.
It's very
thing.
interesting because I saw a
Depends what people
video
watch
the other
us
day from a guy called Drew Gooden. He does really funny, like kind of sarcastic, very British humor, but he's American. He was pointing out kind of relatability on YouTube and how like so many people go into YouTube now. lose that really quickly when they get successful really quickly. So that, and then they start like buying a fucking Grand Design's house and then filming that when they started like really small, and then suddenly the audience are like, well, this isn't why I subscribe to you. You're not the normal down to earth person. And there's this couple who like do a family channel, of course. I think they're called the Ace family, and they're building this fucking incredible mansion in LA, or I think it's LA.
It no longer feels like a relatable
And
family.
like they're like saying, they're literally talking about like you see it on Grand Designs where they're man, the builder's not coming, he's not put this like special tiling and stuff, and they'll be there looking really fucking sad and downtrodden and go, oh no, like the French tiling hasn't come in time, and we can't do this bit.
We can't
the
put
pool
up the
isn't finished.
veranda.
And it's like, oh, the pool isn't done.
Well, and that's their content.
And that's their content.
Right.
And then halfway through that they'll go, anyway, get some new merch from, and it's just like they'll do a merch plug, and it's like, fuck me, this is the most distasteful.
That's also like
bollocks on YouTube.
disingenuous as well as relatable.
Really, and it's
unrelatable.
just-
I've seen the same video, Ross, and the worst part is that in the comments afterwards, it's like, oh, guys, you really deserve this house. Like, oh, thank God it's finally done. And
I
like,
know,
that's the worst.
It's intolerable, and it's just
Yeah.
like, but it's watchable because people want to see that kind of lifestyle as well. They're curious about the rich and famous, and you know, I'm curious about it too.
A lot of Instagram, like I've said in the past, like a lot of it is living vicariously through these people to make you feel better.
think so.
Like it feels like I'm connected to this person. They're having this great life, and I'm kind of encouraging them, supporting them, feeling like I'm part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it makes you feel better for it. 'Cause it's like, oh, I encourage these people, and then they mentioned that you guys, which is talking to me, helped us get through this rough patch because you gave us all that support. And I was like, yeah, I am a part of this. I own a part of that mansion, right?
Yeah.
Because on the flip side of it,
Pretty much.
in terms of relatability, like that's ultimately you want to kind of stay true to yourself, right? You want to stay true to the fact that we started from humble beginnings. We kind of did our own thing, had a laugh with it, and yeah, we've become a semi-big channel, and we have an audience that enjoy it. We got the almost 1 million to prove it, and ultimately, yeah, you want to stay true to yourself, but.
Yeah.
There must be times where you see these guys who are starting in humble beginnings, and then suddenly they're showing their supercar off and whatnot, and it's like, fuck, is that still there? Is that charm still
Again,
there? I
to
don't
not
know.
keep bringing him up, but PewDiePie,
Sure.
he might even have a strategy for like staying relatable because he uploads in such shit quality.
Well, have you seen his mansion? Have you seen his big
You
fancy
don't
house?
see
You
it.
don't.
You don't see it, and
He doesn't
also
flaunt it.
the only thing he did show was his really expensive wedding.
Well, yeah,
which
but
is very
like,
expensive.
I mean, ultimately, it's kind of like that's a moment. Like
But
it
it's
wasn't his
about-
content.
it's
in
about
the
his
norm,
relationship.
yeah.
So that's like everyone
Yeah.
can relate to that and a wedding.
And it, like you'd be dumb to think that he's poor or like
Yeah.
not.
But like
doing
the
well.
way he jankily edits his stuff is like very memey. Anyone could do that. And his camera qualities, and he uploads in 720p. It's probably because it gets pushed to more people quicker because YouTube doesn't have to encode 1080p, 4K, and all that stuff. But like ultimately,
giving us
it
ideas.
looks like a guy that's still just click and record on OBS and recording, just like I could do, but he's doing it for us.
So it's relatable in that sense that you could be there laughing at memes with him.
Yeah,
Right.
He's still the same guy, and he's not using his money to like be someone.
I think if we were in like LA or somewhere, I don't think I'd be the same person that I was when I grew up in Somerset.
It's a different
It's an environment.
But I mean, if we moved, like if we were there, like because you know how the Cow Chop guys were like, oh, I don't know about LA, like I really don't like it and all that sort of stuff. Like I'm the same. Whenever we interact with the kind of people you get in LA who are like you guys are incredible, like you know all that stuff. Like we
Just
joke about it.
Extreme enthusiasm.
Yeah, and it's like it's not human. It
Feels
doesn't
really
feel
fake.
human.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really
takes so
weird.
much energy, which I don't understand where they get it from. And it's
just all that sunshine,
cocaine and sunshine.
cocaine and sunshine.
That's our new album.
Cocaine, yeah, right. I find it weird because, for example, with some of the nice stuff we get, I like when we talk about graphics cards or whatever, and you know fancy cameras. I feel shit because it's like, well, this is really expensive stuff, and we got it because of these guys. And you will get the occasional person who's like, oh, look at them like flaunting around a whatever cost camera. And it's just like, so you just don't want to talk about
it's a fine
the
balance
things you've
between
achieved as well.
Yeah, because it's still special to you, right?
Yeah,
Like when we
yeah.
get a new camera or something, it's always really interesting, and they are like, "Oh, cool! Like new bit of tech."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we do genuinely
Yeah, I
love
think
it.
there's a difference between having stuff that helps you do your job better, like graphics cards,
Yeah.
like cameras,
Yeah.
compared to we just went bought a Lambo. Like
Yeah, exactly.
that stuff is a bit more in your face. Right?
But I had comments
Yeah.
about my car, and people like I bought it in 2014. It's quite an old car, but it looks nice. It's like it's a pretty good car. But I didn't want to tweet about it or like post pictures of it because it's like, who cares really? Like
that's why I didn't
ultimately, it's not that
post
fancy.
anything about my Nissan Sunny,
Exactly,
because otherwise that
otherwise
just
you'd
shows
get people
that-
going, "Fuck you! I'm not giving you money again."
Yeah, 1980s Nissan Sunny.
But people form an impression of you the moment you do that type of thing, and it's just like,
yeah, well, you own a Beamer as well, so that comes with its own
exactly. Yeah.
stereotypes.
I think because was it? I went through that bus stop thing, and we were like, "Oh, typical Beamer driver." I was
Classic
like,
Beamer driver.
Yeah,
You're
look,
just
I
fulfilling-
make sure to indicate extra hard just to make up for it.
Kunk.
I'm indicating arms out the window. I'm gonna do this.
Doing the manual, you got to do the.
I'm letting you know, buddy.
Like
I'll do a mile ahead of the turning. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
thanks,
one of our
Siri.
phones is going off. But yeah, that's relatability on YouTube. So it's a weird thing, but it's not really something. It's first world issues.
The thing is, on the other end of the spectrum, those people that come across as complete assholes that really push themselves and are overly energetic also succeed really well on YouTube.
Yeah, but this is it reflects in politics as well. Narcissism wins. People want to see someone who's confident. People want to
most
see someone
bombastic
who
thing.
has made a decision and goes through with it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you see all the time, especially with British things, people are quite timid and pull back, don't want to brag about things, don't want to go over the top. But
And then
it's
when you get a
complete
guy
opposite.
who's English, or guy or girl who does brag, you're like, what a fucking cunt.
wanker. But
Like-
there he is, flashing. I mean, it's like that Morgs guy. Jeez, what a cunt.
Is this another symptom of eating your own jizz? Because
Here we go back to the jizz again.
So-
Eventually, you start liking your taste.
But
right?
eventually start liking it.
Yeah.
You
Not
start
only that-
telling your friends about it. You then go online with it. You
You
tell
bottle
all
it up.
look what I've got. I got jism, and then you drink it in front of them. They're all jealous, and you're like, "Well,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'm in
Well,
a bath of jism, pouring it over my head, humiliating myself online, and I've got more subscribers than anyone
yeah,
else."
but is it a case of they've done this and they keep doing and buying more things and getting more and more bigger, and they're getting the views as a result of that? It may not necessarily be that that's
Yeah.
driving their
They'll
popularity,
see
but
it-
it's like,
yeah.
oh, that's got a causal effect, and therefore I'm going to become
Definitely.
bigger and like more.
You'll see an uptick on that.
it fuels
fucking,
itself.
Oh, I showed off my brand new Lamborghini. That's had more views than normal. What else big can I do? Oh, I'm going to buy a brand new house.
Yeah, and it's
massive.
perpetual. Yeah.
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 So you can see why they will get in that loop, because that's making them more money. So then that's become their thing.
I kind of respect Mr. Beast's approach to that, because yes, he's throwing money at everything.
Oh, I don't know. I've started to look at his content, and it's like he's just buying his friendship in a way. Like he's just got this kind of rabble of kids who probably wouldn't have come across necessarily such large sums of money normally.
Yeah.
And they're just like scratching their heads. They've probably left school a bit early, and they're just like, "Yeah, I'll sit in this bathtub for money." And it just comes across as a bit
But there's other content. For example, his most recent one was
like shitty game show stuff.
He bought 10 cars from a car dealership, opened up his own car dealership, and gave it away to people that came up for free. So he basically gave a load of strangers cars.
Yeah, I don't mind the ones where he gives it away to strangers. It's the whole friend dynamic of
Last
giving my
person in
cash
this
20
car.
grand for my friends.
Yeah, that
And it's
is a
just
little
like,
strange.
Okay, well, this is gonna eventually be a
I like the
tax
ones where he
scam.
gives
It's gonna
back
blow up
to-
in his face at some point.
I like the ones where he gives back to
Like
random
a community
people.
or like but it's I don't know.
He wants to set up a
It's all
home
for
shower
content,
and
isn't it?
stuff, so he's doing better than a lot of us YouTubers.
Yeah,
that
this
not
is the
doing
thing.
He's
anything.
able to actually give back.
Yeah.
There are some
useful.
people who are just straight up toxic, poisonous people. And I've said this before, but whilst we're talking about like some of the more negative elements of YouTube, people who complain about negativity, like, oh, I hate all this negativity. Like people tweet about it, it's like, ah, man, I'm only good vibes, positive thinking, positive things. 9 times out of 10, the people that tweet that shit got to where they are because of how they did something, and that is the shit they're getting criticized over. And people are like, why are people hating on success? They're not hating on success, they're hating on how you became successful, and that is really important. That's a distinction. Like, there's so many content creators out there who are really, really big who do not give a fuck about the people who are buying their shit, who are donating to them, who are having all this stuff. They do not care at all, and it's really
Numbers on a page,
horrible.
yeah.
It's really horrible, basically. And these people check out this content, and it's like, yeah, but you're just jealous of their success and all that sort of stuff. You're like, of course I'd like to be that successful, and I'm not criticizing someone for being a success, but like you said earlier, like
for different
controversy,
reasons.
like that shit sells.
Yeah.
And I think that we kind of are from a slightly older guard of YouTubers where YouTube is more about the personal element, the personability, like the more about the just kind of also a nice little corner of the internet. Obviously YouTube isn't that anymore, and Instagram isn't that anymore, but instead we've gone from like knowing that you're not alone, playing games, or knowing that your humor is similar to somebody else, and that's kind of a nice feeling, to I want to have their life, I want to be as big as them, I want to be as good looking as them, I want those things. And
idolizing a lifestyle.
Yeah, don't do that. These people are fuck ups. Like so many, like, I mean, YouTube in general, I think kind of fucks with your head. Like no matter who you are, but there are certain people out there who've taken advantage of that, exploited that relationship with their audience. And that's really fucking...
That's the
that's
thing.
it. But then
yeah.
obviously, have we suffered for not trying to go down that path?
We have, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. But are we suffering?
I'm fine with... No,
we're not suffering.
But in terms of like...
Exactly, yeah.
We could have grown more if we had taken more ruthless...
At what cost, yeah.
At what cost, exactly. So
cost your own integrity. But there are some people who don't value that at all, apparently.
Yeah. And things that, a lot of those people, we have met some of them.
Yeah.
That are doing extremely well, and a lot of them aren't happy doing that. It clearly aren't... But the person that's making that content is not the person we're talking to at the moment.
But then it flicks back to the relatability, but not the levels of like they've got to a level and they're not happy. They always want more, right?
It's a drive to want
more.
And
so they're thinking, only 1.5 million on that one. That sucks.
And that's what's been driven home to their audience, and then their audience who wants that thinks that's the only way to get that is to like constantly strive for more than you currently got and
the grind.
And they're only seeing what they're putting out, what they're choosing to put out, not what they've done to get to that point. Like you say, it's like they did a lot of shit to get there. All you're doing is trying to mimic what they're at right now.
So Mr. Beast used to just sit down for 24 hours watching like Logan Paul videos.
He did
and he was just spent 24 hours watching this and all saying
real viral stuff.
What was it? Like Everyday Bro. He's singing Everyday Bro for like 24 hours or some dumb shit.
And of course,
and there'll just be this really long video of him just go, it's every day, bro. And it's just... But it worked. It like fucking worked.
It works because it's like, I can't believe someone did that.
Yeah. It's the kind of like, fuck, what's going on with this
viral that you say.
There's only one person out there that would have done that, and it's Mr. Beast, and he created that niche for himself. And
what about the LA Beast, though? And you guys remember the LA Beast? It's like this really jack dude who used to do stuff like drink like 40 eggs.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Just self-punishment.
Yeah, and he did like the Pepsi Crystal from like the 1980s. And he drank it and just vomits. It's hilarious.
Is that like Shoe Nice?
A little bit, yeah. I think he still makes content. I've only ever seen a few bits of it, but I find people throwing up hilarious, as we all know.
He's just laughing his ass off when you're throwing up in these random scenarios.
I just like, Trott's wasted again. He's thrown up on a bin on Hollywood Avenue. Clap, Mr. Trott.
I feel horrible. And
then we
sit down.
Just palmed you off on the guys in the hotel. You
guys
got this one? Cool.
It was just around the corner, so we're like, sure. Yeah. Still got up there again.
I'm amazed you were there in the morning.
Literally just shocked that he was in there brushing his teeth.
I felt surprisingly fine, yeah.
Got it all up, probably. Did you have anything to eat afterwards?
No,
you just went on to D&D.
You wouldn't have remembered anyway, would you?
I don't remember shit. I woke up next to Mark Humes.
Thinking it was me?
Yeah, thinking it was you, and also like, where the fuck am I? I looked out the window, and I saw like sky rises, and I'm like, this isn't Hollywood Hills. Who the fuck is that? He turned over. It's like, who the fuck is that? Who am I in bed with? It was separate beds, and it's fucking Humes. Humes, and I was literally confused for a good 10 minutes.
Fucking hell.
You're only confused for too long, and it's like, your reality's totally...
What is going on?
Thrown up.
Only at uni, I think I've been that drunk where I've just forgotten where I woke up. Like, you just woke up somewhere random, you're like, what the fuck am I?
I keep forgetting
I beat it before that was fucked up.
American measurements for spirits are way higher than...
Just keep on pouring.
Yeah, but it was like free booze, I think. So
it was free as well. So you're just like, get them in before time.
Yeah.
Boom.
You arrived into witness.
I had a beer, nice wheat beer.
Didn't I sound really like level-headed though, and very...
You weren't as bad as...
I think you already knew what trouble you got yourself into. That's why you were like, guys, I'm really fucking drunk.
It happened really quickly because we were having a conversation at the bar and then maybe half an hour later you
I was gone. It all hit me all at once.
But yeah, I think that's all we've really got time for today's podcast. We've surpassed the hour.
Damn, we did it. We did it, Sam.
Thank you very much for listening, guys.
You survived.
Sam made it. This is his first podcast. He might do many more because Craig, when that comes out.
Speedball.
The speedball. The speedball incident. We can't talk about the speedball.
No, we can't, no.
But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. We got the Patreon. Thank you very much to the people supporting us on
there is a Patreon button, Sam.
/hatfilms.
Here it comes.
Here we go. There's
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's a
Look at
visual
that.
for you. Oh,
Comes up on every
look
scene.
at that text. That's real text right there.
Real
Wow.
text.
So thank you to those for supporting us. That literally holds this podcast up.
Yeah, you will be credited at the end of this video, which is
Indeed.
available on the Hat Chat podcast on YouTube.
Yep.
Please check it out if you want to see a lot of the images that we looked at today, like Prue.
Prue, of course, if you don't want to Google it. That's the Hat Chat podcast YouTube channel.
Yes.
We don't have the monkey
Which
using
is-
the frog, but you can Google that if you want.
It's now youtube.com/hatchat, which is
that's nice.
a good little tag to have. So we got that.
We've got a
Easy
vanity
URL.
URL.
Yeah.
So vain. And yeah, I
We're
think
going
that's
to do
everything.
some.
So,
yeah, thank you.
yeah.
For watching, everybody.
If you want to send in fingals, send them to hatchat@hat-films.com.
There's a button for that too, Sam. Here it comes.
We enjoy your fingals. There's
Ready?
there's another button there.
Oh.
You can also
Oh,
send
there.
questions in. We enjoy your
Can't find that
questions.
button.
We'll
Oh,
add
you
them to
can't
this
find this
list. We've got a lot of questions here. There's someone asking about the office move vlog, which unfortunately won't ever come out now.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. No, it won't. No.
There's a lot of other people in it
Yeah.
that we can't probably include anymore.
No.
So yeah.
That's the way that goes.
But there you
So
go.
the
So that's
cookie
what we have time
crumbles.
for. See you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
which camera are you looking at, Trott?